Beam's messages. This is your collective bonus reading. Now, congratulations on getting another bonus reading. Thank you for all of your support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, this is a collective bonus reading, so not everything will resonate. So please only take what resonates and leave what doesn't. So we're going to do past, present, and future. Let's get into this. So can we get some cards for the collective of Gemini for the past, present, and future, please, Spirit? Okay. If you look on the bottom of the deck, I've got the wheel. So it does look as though this is all about divine timing and things that were meant to happen. So in the past, then, in the distant past, we've got the death card. So some sort of ending, some sort of transformation happening. Yeah, very much. Closing one door, opening another door. Let's get some clarity on that. What's this death card, please, Spirit? Okay, so your new door or whatever was you were transitioning into, we've got an Ace of Pentacles. So it looks as though the door that was opening was something new that gave you a bit of stability here. Possibly a job, possibly a relationship that may have been very stable. I've got an Ace of Swords as well. So lots of truths potentially coming out, things you were finding out about yourself, maybe even putting people off too. What's that? We've got a Six of Cups. So it looks as though there may have been a bit of nostalgia from the past here as well. Potentially, you could be looking at a soulmate that may have came in. And then I've got a King of Cups. So lots of emotions being spoke about here. Potentially, this is a very fulfilling relationship that you went into. Yeah, it looks as though it's a very pleasant transition that you were going into, at least in the distant past. Now, in the recent past, we've got the Elemental of Swords. Now, that's the same as the Knight of Swords in this particular deck. Now, the Elemental of Swords, I can't show you the full card, unfortunately, it's a little bit naked. It's in the reverse. So it is suggesting to me that there could be, in the recent past, there may have been some harsh communication, potentially a bit of angry communication as well. Something that was a little bit hasty, potentially jumping to conclusions as well. So maybe not very well thought out. Let's get some clarity on that. What's this Elemental of Swords, Spirit? So what we got. So I've got a Page of Cups in the reverse. So potentially there could have been a little bit of unspoken feelings or half words with regards to feelings. Things that were being said that weren't necessarily meant to, an apology that's never really materialized. I've got a moon here. So there's lots of fears, things that have been hidden from you. Page of Pentacles. Potentially some sort of gifts as an apology, maybe. Got a Two of Wands as well. So it feels very much like somebody was waiting for a bit of an apology. Certain things were being kept from them. And the apology it may have come in the form of a gift. And it just looks as though somebody wasn't very happy with that. You know, this Two of Wands in the reverse is suggesting to me that somebody's just fed up of waiting. They didn't necessarily like how the apology was going. Maybe the apology was given wrong. Let's face it, sometimes words say sorry more than a gift does. But yeah, there's definitely a need to move forward from this and not waste your, it's like not wasting your time waiting for things to get better. I do feel like there was a fear that there was never going to be any sort of an apology, or it could just be that the apology was just half-hearted. Maybe it's that whole, instead of admitting what was wrong, just buying a bunch of flowers and hoping that sorts it. A very poor attempt at an apology, poor attempt to admit or show that they'd hurt feelings, you know, pain kind of thing. Now, in your current day, we have the Knight of Pentacles, or Elemental of Pentacles. Now, that is very much suggesting to me that you've decided what you want to do. You're very much plotting your own course. You're taking it slow and steady. Now, whether you're made up with this person and you're just taking things slow to see how they're going, or whether you are, plotting your own course, I'm not sure. But let's get some clarity of that elemental of pentacles. But yeah, whatever it is, I mean, you could even be starting something brand new. Maybe you're going into a new job, or maybe you've made a plan and you're taking action to go towards it. With Chariot here. So you're very much moving somewhere. That's what you're doing in the current day. Very much moving forward. Your heart and your head's aligned. Very, very much just trying to make sure that you get where you need to go. I've got a 9 of Swords in the reverse. So if you were losing any sleepless nights, if you had any stress or anxiety, you're not worrying about it anymore. You're not letting it get to you. You're letting it go. You're very much releasing it so that you can move forward. We do have a 6 of Pentacles here as well, suggesting that you are potentially giving a bit of your time and your energy out somewhere. You might not be getting it back as much as you are giving it out, mind you. Um, but it doesn't seem to be phasing you at this point of time, because it just looks like it's all part of the plan that you've got to move forward. Now, in the near future, we have this 9 of Cups. Now, it's in the upright, so it is suggesting very much that you are going to have some wish fulfillment. There's going to be some happy times ahead, very much suggesting to me that you are emotionally fulfilled there. And it's very much an independent emotional fulfillment. It's not relying on anyone else to make you happy. It is being happy in the moment. Let's get some clarity of that 9 of Cups. Now, I'm not saying that you're single as well. I'm just saying that you don't, your happiness depends on you and only you. And let's face it, if you can't make yourself happy, no one can make you happy. What's this 9 of Cups, Spirit? So we do have a Justice card that's come out to the side. So it does feel to me like there might still be a decision that you've got to make, but you might not have all of the information right at the beginning to make that decision. Or I say right at the beginning, you might not have that information just yet. You're kind of sitting on the fence about it. Maybe you're trying to find information out. That could all be part of your journey with your pentacles. You are still sitting on it. You're trying to make sure that the decision's fair. Now, this could also be a legal decision that is just stuck in limbo at the moment, and no decision's been made on it. But either way, you're feeling pretty happy because there's definitely no decision just yet. Now, I've got a King of Cups to the side as well, which is making me feel like there's some unspoken emotions here, but you don't necessarily know how your emotions are feeling. That sounds really weird, isn't it? It could very well be that one minute you're full of emotions for somebody. Maybe you've got a lot of love for someone, and the next minute you can't stand them. Or, it feels very much like the emotional stability there is a little bit wobbly. So potentially not knowing 100% what it is that you actually want. And I feel like whatever that is dependent upon this Justice card. So it's like you can't necessarily decide what you want while this justice or whatever this decision is still up in the air. What you are doing though is you are moving forward from some grief. So if you've been going through a bit of a tough patch, if you feel like there's been some grief, there's been some loss, some sorrow, it is something that you are going to be moving forward from and healing from. You're not going to be feeling as sad. And I'm getting that very much with that Nine of Cups because the Nine of Cups is a card of being very happy, being emotionally fulfilled. It's very much like a wish fulfillment. So moving away from grief and sorrow is very much going to be like, yeah, wish fulfillment, especially if you've been in it for a while. Now, in the outcome, we have the initiative of swords. Not outcome, in the long term, we have the initiative of swords. Uh, is that initiative? Sorry, initiate of swords. Now, that is the page of swords, and it's in the reverse. So, someone, either you or someone that has been keeping quiet about something, is potentially going to come forward, and they're going to come forward with speed. Now, this could be an apology that you may have been waiting for, but this is in the distant future. So what is this initiate of swords, please, Spirit? Okay, so we've got a Hierophant here. Potentially something to do with a long-term relationship or some sort of long-term commitment. It could even have something to do with faith, religion, something that you found stable and had a lot of belief in. Um, I've got a Two of Pentacles. So it looks as though it may have something to do with potentially juggling maybe workloads, priorities. I mean, this particular cat is juggling a goldfish and a rodent, so he can't decide what he wants for dinner. There's a fish in the background, I think, as well. No, that's a boat. But yeah, either way, it feels like somebody may not have necessarily known what it was they wanted. Maybe they've been struggling over a particular choice. Now, it could very well be, a choice between work and romance. It could be a choice between work and work and family, any number of things it could have been. And it very much feels like someone here that you may be in some sort of long-term commitment with, is coming to talk to you about certain commitments and things that they've been juggling. Now, we do have a King of Swords here as well. So they are coming to you with some truths. Now, they could be harsh truths, they could be a little bit painful. In fact, no, that's not the King, that's the Queen of Swords. Sorry, it's a new deck, and I'm just the crowns are very, very, very similar at the bottom. It's a little bit blurry on this camera. But yeah, so very much there could be some cutting out of the lies here. I feel like it's going to be you doing the cutting out of lies, potentially. You might even be cutting ties with certain things. Very much not interested in the rubbish. Now, that Queen of Swords has got loads of butterflies all around her. So it is very much suggesting that cutting out whatever you need to here in the distant future, it is going to give you a bit of a transformation. And you're also going to be using a lot of intelligence about it as well. You're making very wise decisions here, um, in the distant future with regards to whatever this message is. Right, let's get you some Moonology cards to see if we can get any kind of timelines on when any of this is supposed to happen. I get some Moonology cards, please, Spirit. Okay, so we've got your dreams need a practical plan, full moon in Taurus. Conclusions are within reach, full moon eclipse. and the end of a tough cycle approaches full moon in Capricorn. So you could be looking at some of these distant future things being next year potentially. Because what the full moon? No, is it? Let me double check for you. When is the full moon? Okay, so the full moon in Taurus, then we've got November. Um, Full moon in Capricorn is July. So July, some of this may have already happened. And then yeah, potentially there could be some in November as well. When have we got that full moon eclipse? That was in March. So potentially next year there may be another one. Um, yeah, March 2026. So potentially March next year, November. Something may have started in July last month. So I just feel like this could be very much your current position, and then your near future and your distant future, but might not be. Let's face it, it could be any times, but if they hit around those marks for you, then you know that this reading was for you. Right, that is what I've got for you, Gemini. I hope you enjoyed your reading today. If you did, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. It will help pass the message on to anyone else that needs to hear it. And if you want to hear more from me and you haven't subscribed already, if you press that subscription button, press the notification bell, it will let you know when I do post new content. For those of you that have subscribed already, thank you very much for your subscription. It is greatly appreciated. It helps the channel grow and helps get those messages out. So thank you for your support. Good luck and thank you for joining me.